So Week 13 exposed your and my poverty franchises. Let's just talk about it. Kicking it off with the Thanksgiving slate. I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving. We got the Christmas set up. We got Balobius in the back. But Thursday, November 27th, I will remember this day as the day that my Lions probably don't make the playoffs. We're so fraudulent. I'm actually so frustrated. The Packers have now swept us. And I blame Jerry Jones for giving them Micah Parsons. This was at home. I just know that NFL teams are just foaming at the mouth to play the Lions because they're going to hang 30 plus on us. 31-24. Jordan Love matches his career high with 4 touchdown passes, lifting the Packers to 31-24 win over the Lions. Jared Goff was okay. J-Mo was crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs had like 11 receptions. But overall, dude, I honestly think we're fraudulent. Obviously, the Packers are very good. The Packers have shown that they're not great at times as well. But everybody likes to play in great conditions, like inside Detroit Stadium. As we get later into the season, I'm noticing how the weather is impacting these teams so heavily because it's getting colder, it's getting windier. Those outdoor stadium games, dude, those are a tough watch sometimes. I'm not going to lie. This was not the case. This was a tough watch for me as a Lions fan. Hopefully you started Jameson Williams. He's been insanely streaky in fantasy football. Dontavian Wicks was nasty good. He also called ball game. This was by far the most clutch play of that game. Dontavian Wicks, it is 4th and 3. Matt LaFleur was like, hey, Dan Campbell, I'm going to show you how to convert a 4th down for like the first time ever. Jordan Love, Alan McNeil in his face, Aiden Hutchinson in his face, off his back foot. This is not how you're supposed to throw a football. That shit doesn't matter. Because it was literally in the perfect spot based on the coverage. Like Brian Branch is all over him, but he's a little bit taller. And he made a nasty catch, lost a fucking shoe, and called ball game against Lions. Would we have scored? Probably not, dude. It's been frustrating. And I just miss Ben Johnson so much. Honestly, that's all it is. This is one of the healthiest, best Lions teams that we've had in a long time, and I miss Ben Johnson so much. Like, dude, we were better last season with Ben Johnson, but no Aiden Hutchinson. That's crazy. I'll give us the excuse of our schedule, but that's enough yapping. We took a loss. Packers are great. Lions can still make the playoffs. I'm a little nervous. Chiefs, Cowboys. Oh my God. Speaking of fraudulent, the Kansas City Chiefs are 6-6. They may not actually make the playoffs. You know who's excellent and who's been excellent? Shockingly, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have choked some very close games. They've got the 40-40 tie with the Green Bay Packers. They barely lost the first game of the season to the Eagles. They have honestly been so impressive. I think their most embarrassing loss was to the Cardinals. I mean, they got dumpstered by the Broncos, but I thought the Cardinals loss was really embarrassing for them. But they're on a 3-game win streak, and their next game is against my Detroit Lions. That is a huge game. That is the 7-5 Detroit Lions playing the 6-5-1 Dallas Cowboys. That is a crucial in the hunt NFC playoff game. I'm so excited to watch. Neither of us play much defense, so I think it's going to be a banger. But if I'm being for real, like Dak looks great. Javonte Williams was an excellent signing. CeeDee Lamb looks great. And you know who's the best signing? Honest to God, George Pickens. Signing, trade, who gives a fuck? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Shut up, little fucking 8-year-old. Want to tell me exactly how they acquired George Pickens? Acquire my dick in your ass. George Pickens has been so good. George Pickens has been so good. I did not see this coming. Especially with like CeeDee Lamb. It feels like, CeeDee Lamb is the guy and George Pickens is like maybe a deep threat once in a while. Not really, bro. George Pickens is almost like their actual guy. Crazy. Bengals, Ravens. Yeah, you can really tell when Joe Burrow's back. It's very obvious when Joe Burrow's back. This was a horrible game for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Lamar looked like shit. Division rivalry. Joe Burrow comes back, instantly gets a win for the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think there's any universe where they can make the playoffs. I don't think. 12 games, 17 game season. If they won the next 5, they'd be 9. There is a universe where they can make the playoffs, actually. There is a technical universe. I think for Baltimore, it's a lot more likely, but you can't play like that. Can't play like that at all. Jamar Chase, 7 receptions, 110 yards. Yeah, I hope you started him in fantasy as well. Checking in on my fantasy team, I am 8-4. I've got a 92% chance to win this week. As I'm recording this, Broncos Commanders is on right now. Normally I record these the morning after, but I'm going to be gone for the next couple of days, unfortunately. But don't worry, I got wheel them up for you. Don't worry. I got videos coming. Either way, Bijan dropped a 30-piece and they lost to the Jets. We'll talk about that later. Josh Allen was solid because he had a rushing touchdown. Outside of that, it wasn't a very spectacular game. Odunze was dog shit. I don't know what happened to him, but there was like this stretch where he was like getting like 12 targets a game and catching all of them, and now he just sucks. Puka Nacua was okay. You know why Puka Nacua's fallen off a little bit? Because Devontae Adams has been insane. Devontae Adams has 11 touchdowns over the last 6 games. It's like Matthew Stafford's like, wait a minute, I actually like Devontae Adams better all of a sudden. I don't know why that is. Dallas Goedert was a trash start. He didn't do shit. Eagles offense looks like shit. Olave was nice. Big Tutty almost had another one. Jaylen Warren was a solid flex. Brandon Aubrey is always a good start. And right now at halftime, it's 13-7. So Denver defense has been really, really good all season long for me too. I don't know where they rank in defenses. They're the number 7 defense. Yeah, I'm glad that I have them. There's really no switch that I should have or could have made. I think moving forward, I may start Harold Fannin over Dallas Goedert because I've always liked Harold Fannin, but I just, you trust Philly more than Cleveland, but I don't even know anymore about Philly. They're kind of pissing me right off. Either way, I'm headed to the fantasy football playoffs for sure if I win this game. So excited for that. All right, Rams fans, I'm talking about your game next. I'm going to let you enjoy that this was one of the craziest catches of the year. And then we're going to talk about this game because this is the only highlight I want to talk about with the Rams. Although that's not true. This was low-key, dude. Rams, Panthers, best game of the week. This felt like a playoff game. Banger game. Puka Nacua comes down with, look at this fucking catch. Disgusting. And he got a little after the catch, too. Unbelievable catch. And look at number 2. Look at Mike Jackson. He's like, holy shit, I just got fucking dunked on. That's going to be on my Instagram feed. It doesn't even matter that we're going to win this game. This shit's going to be all on my Instagram. Look at him. Completely gave up on the play, too, as if Puka's not up right now. This would have been giga embarrassing if Puka got this in the end zone. As you're sitting here pouting that you just got dunked on. Insane grab. Fucking insane grab. And you know what? No OPI, no DPI. That was just insane, and he got a hand on it, too. Crazy-ass catch, but let's talk about the real story. The real story is the fact that the Carolina Panthers are legitimately in the playoffs right now. If the season ended right now, I think they make the playoffs. Maybe not, because I think the Buccaneers are leading the NFC South, but regardless, they went from 6-6 to 7-6, and they just hung with what I believe to be the best team in the NFL right now. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now. Stafford's been incredible, but right at the end of this game, Derek Brown gets a strip sack fumble. This is Panthers with 31 and the Rams with 28. That was in the 4th quarter. Derek Brown brings him down, and he takes that out to the 50. Then that's ball game. Panthers have looked great. You know who has the most game-winning drives? The youngest player to have the most game-winning drives? Bryce Young. Number 2 is Josh Allen. Number 3 is Peyton Manning. Bryce Young has been so good. Unbelievably good. This is why you never give up. Never fucking give up on your quarterback, bro. Never give up on your young quarterback. Remember when we were all just dicking on Bryce Young 2 years ago or last year, whatever year it was? Just relentlessly dicking on. Remember when Bryce Young got benched for Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton was thrown to like Adam Thielen. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Never give up on your guy because the Panthers look great. Not just beat. It's not a fluke win. They played spectacular football and beat the best team in football. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I do hope they do, though. I agree with this comment. I hope the Panthers make it to the playoffs. They deserve it. Panthers are the greatest 6-7-6 team of all time. I'm so glad I didn't say it. I speak for all Bears fans when I say thank you, Panthers. The Jalen Coker game. Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from this game was twice on 4th down and short. The Carolina Panthers, they played it so perfectly because you're thinking that the Rams are just going to guard short. The Panthers might run the ball or look for a check down. And both times, Bryce Young's like, you know what? I'm going to throw a fucking bomb. And what does he do? Throws a bomb to T-Mac, and on the previous fourth down, he throws a bomb to Jalen Coker, and he connects on both. It was not good weather in this game either. This could have easily been a game where you're like, oh, it's going to be 10-13. It's going to be ugly because it's raining and it just shit out there. Nope. 28-31. Rams are still the best team in the NFL to me. Rams are absolutely still the best team in the NFL to me. Saints recovered an insanely controversial onside kick. I don't think that touched a Dolphins player, and that's clearly before 10, so I would not have ruled this the way that they did. But it didn't matter because in Saints fashion, they choked it anyway, and they still lost the game. This was a super mid-off. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that Saints-Dolphins game, but it did get kind of spicy at the end. Bills-Steelers. This at halftime, I thought Pittsburgh was going to win. At halftime, it was like, wow, Pittsburgh's kind of commanding this game. Buffalo looks like shit. Instantly, it's a fumble six or a pick six, and then another interception. Aaron Rodgers comes out. Mason Rudolph comes in. When Mason Rudolph's in, they're fucking horrible. This dude was 0 for 3 with an interception. I thought the play calling was bad. I thought Pittsburgh looked bad. I think the number one thing that pissed me off about this game is multiple times in the red zone, Pittsburgh is running the most whack plays I've ever seen. You have DK fucking Metcalf, bro. You have one of the most physically dominant wide receivers in the league. And you're not going to throw him in single coverage. DK Metcalf, for the record, not on my fantasy team. I do not care about DK Metcalf. The fact that you are not tossing him fades like he's Megatron, I know he's not Megatron, but it's a hell of a lot better than just handing the ball off to Jalen Warren, who's getting like 3 yards a carry. I don't know. I thought it was super weird. Bills win the game, but this was more of like the Steelers being mid. I don't think Buffalo played particularly well either, but they moved to 8-4, which is a great record for the Buffalo Bills. Okay, Vikings Seahawks. Holy shit. This was insane to watch. Seahawks, yes, have an amazing defense, and I love the Seahawks. And, like, what did we really expect out of Max Brosmer? But this is one of the worst quarterback performances I've ever seen. Like, personally watched the entire time. Like, you go back and you look at games, you go on YouTube.com and you're like, worst quarterback performance of all time. But I saw this shit live. He threw for 126 yards and 4 interceptions on 30 attempts. He had a QBR of 5.6, and he got sacked 4 times. If Shedeur Sanders did this, I don't think I'd be able to log into Instagram because the servers would just be blown up. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine? Now, luckily for Max Brosmer, the only thing I know about Max Brosmer is he is my silver quarterback on Wheel of Mutt when I don't have a quarterback because he's the default bad quarterback. The funny thing about the Minnesota Vikings, though, really the hilarious thing about this team is this team was 13-4 last season, and they had spectacular quarterback play from guess who? Sam Darnold. From Sam Darnold, who went to Seattle. Now, if you're Minnesota, it was a tough spot to be in because Sam Darnold's price went through the roof because he played so well. So it's like either you got to pony up and pay Sam Darnold a shit ton of money, or you spend your money everywhere else and you invest in your young rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Well, what happens when J.J. McCarthy plays like utter shit and then he's injured? I don't know that he's injured. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter for Minnesota. You might as well try to extract value out of your draft pick. I don't even know if they have their first-round draft pick. I'm not up to date with who has their first-round pick in this upcoming draft. But Max Brosmer going out there and putting up the worst performance of the year by far at quarterback, and it ain't even close. J.J. McCarthy has really struggled this season. It is a scary time to be a Vikings fan. Hopefully, J.J. develops. I think the funny issue to me with this team is you have an insane wide receiver room. I still think Jordan Addison is super good, and then Justin Jefferson is obviously one of the best. You know how A.J. Brown's always bitching about getting the ball and shit? You know how A.J. Brown's always talking about that? That's how Justin Jefferson should actually feel. Justin Jefferson, I would be so pissed off to be this good at football, this good of a wide receiver, and dude, you have 2 touchdowns on the season. You're probably the best wide receiver in the league. You have 2 touchdowns on the season. I mean, he's not the best wide receiver in the league statistically, clearly. Like, there's so many players that are above him. But if you gave Justin Jefferson the targets, the quarterback play of all these other guys, it goes crazy. Shockingly, or maybe not shockingly, it wasn't a great game for Jackson Smith and Jigma. But that is because nobody had to do anything. There are multiple games this season where nobody has to do anything. Literally, because Seahawks defense is that good. It happens all the time, actually. It's kind of funny. That was a crazy bad game. Cardinals, Buccaneers. Death, taxes, and the Arizona Cardinals losing a close game. Those are the only 3 guarantees in life. Holy shit. It's like they get fucking hard off of it. It's like Jonathan Gannon just jerks off to losing games that he totally could win. I know that's aggressive, but dude, the amount that I swear to God, the Arizona Cardinals could be 9-3. With Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett continues to outperform what he should be doing. Trey McBride, still a fantasy GOAT. Arizona's got to get their shit together, man. This is a poverty franchise right now, and it's sad to see. It's just sad to see. Also, Tampa Bay, God, did they cool off. I tell you what's a blessing, though. You know what a blessing is? Playing the NFC South. Playing the NFC South where you're tied for the top seed at 7-5. It's crazy to me that you automatically go to the playoffs just by being at the top of your division. That makes no sense to me. Tampa Bay's cooled off like crazy, but both them and the Carolina Panthers are in a hot race. Well, okay, Carolina's 7-6. Apologies, I didn't realize that. So Tampa Bay's had their bye and Panthers have not yet. It'll be interesting to see who gets that top slot. Right now, I think it should be the Carolina Panthers. I think they're playing better right now, but at the start of the season, it was clearly Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's got to figure out the sauce that they had early on. They got to get that back. I mean, you know what's funny, though, too, is like Tampa Bay's got a lot of their guys back. They got Bucky Irving back. They got Chris Godwin back. They still have Emeka Egbuka, and now they're playing worse. I don't know what the deal with that is, but it is a win against the Cardinals. Falcons, Jets, oh my goodness. When Tyrod Taylor is on the field, they're so much better. Tyrod Taylor is so much better than Justin Fields right now. And they paid Justin Fields $55 million for 3 years. Tyrod Taylor looks good. He was actually crazy clutch in this game. He had a rushing touchdown to seal it up. This, if I'm going to be honest, this is an example, though, of the Falcons losing and not the Jets winning. It's shocking how well the Jets have played after kind of like tanking. You know, it's trading away Quentin Williams, trading away Sauce Gardner. It's shocking how well they played, but dude, the Falcons had so many opportunities to win this game and they choked the fuck out of it. This is the Kirk Cousins that they paid some exorbitant amount of money to. Michigan State alumni love Kirk Cousins. It wasn't even on him, though. If Bijan has 140 yards and a touchdown on the ground, and Bijan has another 50 through the air, and you can't find a way to stop the New York Jets from putting up 27, there's something wrong with you. John Mechie was genuinely horrible in this game, and they still won. You know who was amazing, though? Adonai Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell got clowned big time. Adonai Mitchell was part of the Indianapolis Colts trade where they traded Adonai Mitchell and some draft picks, and they got Sauce Gardner. Donnie Mitchell's first game with the Jets, he was dog shit. In this game, he was a certified baller. He had a deep threat ball. He caught pretty much everything that was thrown his way that was catchable. He was super good. But I think the biggest thing from this game was the Falcons let up like an 85-yard kick return. They literally got a 7-point lead and instantly handed that shit right back. And then they could have sealed the game with a field goal, but they dropped 3 straight passes, punted it away, and Nick Folk buried a game winner. This was an embarrassing-ass game for the Atlanta Falcons. And, well, listen, Bijan dropped 30 for me. I don't care. It was just a bad watch. I was watching that game like, bro, what are you doing? It looked like a tank game, actually. It looked like the Falcons were like, shit, let's get a high draft pick. Although, I don't know if they even have their draft pick. I feel like they traded that draft pick to somebody, so we'll see. Texans, Colts. Oh, my goodness. Okay, first things first, Houston Texans are on a fucking tear. At the start of the season, the Houston Texans were 0-3. Then they beat the Titans, and then they beat the Ravens, who didn't have Lamar. So even when they had those 2 wins, I was like, dude, this team is ass. Davis Mills goes on and gives them a bunch of wins. Now C.J. Stroud's back, and C.J. Stroud's playing good. They're a legitimate playoff contending team now. I thought their season was over. Shout out to C.J. Stroud for a great, efficient game. Shout out to the run game from Houston Texans playing a great game. Indianapolis is feeling a little bit of that Tampa Bay heat. They are literally cooling off the same way that Tampa Bay was. I swear, Tampa Bay and Indianapolis were the 2 hottest teams. Cooling off big time. This was not a spectacular game out of anybody. Indianapolis had some chances, but you know what? Houston Texans defense is really, really good. I think defense is actually so much more important than offense in the National Football League. It's so lame because all I care about is fantasy football stats. The only reason I watch. Not entirely true, but Houston Texans defense is good. I still like the Colts. I still think they're a great team. Once again, when I was like picturing in my head, I can't see the Colts going deep in the playoffs. This is how I feel right now, especially after this game. It's like, I still feel like the Rams are crazy good. I don't know that I feel that way about the Colts anymore. Jaguars, Titans. There is one thing that's certainly true. The Titans are the worst team in football. The Titans are by far the worst team in football. They're so bad, man. Oh, my God. And it's not Cam Ward's fault. I don't think there's any quarterback that would succeed in this offense right now. They are at high end, the least talented team in the National Football League, and it ain't even close. They have no talent at virtually any position. It's really sad. They're going to need to use their draft pick on a defensive player or a superstar offensive lineman. There's pretty much nothing else you can take here. You can't draft another quarterback. I think Cam Ward's probably your guy. You spent a round 1, pick 1 on him. He's kind of got to be your guy. Ugh, they're in a tough spot. Jaguars go to 8-4. I think the Jaguars are a fraudulent 8-4 team. For them to be 8-4 the same way that the Indianapolis Colts are 8-4, for them to be 8-4 the same way that, who else is 8-4? The Bills are 8-4. The Chargers are 8-4. I like a lot of those teams better than the Jaguars. Although I don't know if I like them. I don't know. Are the Chargers a fraudulent 8-4 team? I'll tell you one thing. The NFL is in a beautiful spot right now. The NFL is in a beautiful spot right now. You know who's a fraudulent ass? Tell you, the 49ers. The 49ers are 9-4. That's a fraudulent 9-4 team. Brock Purdy's back, though. Christian McCaffrey's still healthy. Once again, this is an ugly game. This is one of those games where you really don't got to do anything because Cleveland's just going to beat themselves because Cleveland sucks. Shedeur has been relatively efficient with the football, but this entire game just kind of felt like the Cleveland Browns were attempting to not lose by a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like at no point did I think Cleveland was trying to win. They were trying to not lose by a lot, and they're trying to get Myles Garrett that sack record. That's what this game felt like to me. They went for it on 3rd and 26 or 4th and 26, and Shedeur Sanders literally just like stepped up in the pocket and slid down after 5 yards. It's like, I get it. You're probably not going to get it, but nothing I hate more than a quarterback that won't throw the Hail Mary. I remember when Tua did that earlier this season. It's like Miami had a chance. He just had to throw it 40 yards for the Hail Mary, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to kneel this out. Like, do you care that much about throwing an interception, or are you actually worried about getting pick sixed on? I don't know. This whole game felt like just conceding the loss. Here you go, San Fran. Take the win. We're just going to go and tank. Regardless, though, and by the way, I'm not shitting on Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is probably the best thing that's happened to Cleveland. You got a good, solid starting quarterback for a 5th-round pick. That's a fucking steal. And you're in Cleveland, where quarterbacks go to die. Looks like the Commanders just scored. Marcus Mariota passed to. Do they have Treylon Burks? I didn't know they had Treylon Burks. I thought Treylon Burks was on. Okay, I thought Treylon Burks was on Titans. Treylon Burks with a touchdown. Commanders could win this game. I definitely had Denver winning this, but we'll see. I've been so bad at predicting primetime games, bro. So. We're going to find out. What quarter is this? 3rd quarter? A lot of football left, but we'll see. One of my favorite highlights from this week, though, Charlie Smith, Irish native. You heard that right. This dude is straight out of Ireland, just like me and my father. Straight out of Ireland. He's one of the few players that actually came through the global pipeline. By the way, that's a 56-yard field goal. Fucking buried it. Absolute bomb. That's a hell of a kick. It's awesome. I love that. This guy said big dumper in the house. Wait, they're not even kidding? They call Kyle Raleigh big dumper because he's got a fat ass? Really? We're doing that on the main NFL page? That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the Nick Folk kick. This kick looked like it was so obviously going to miss. Look at how fucking low this thing is. This thing went through the bottom left, like, pixel. That's a crazy kick, but hey, it worked. And then, yeah, I mean, I hope you didn't have the displeasure of watching this game, bro. Max Brosmer was... What are you thinking, bro? This may be your only start ever. We're going to do that. I hate to dogpile on the guy. I know this is a real guy who's probably so upset with himself, and I know that this is probably one of the worst days of his life. So I don't want to be that much of a dick, but oh my goodness, it really was. Like, this isn't me shitting on him. This was one of the worst quarterback play I've seen. What a bummer, though. Like, your first ever NFL starts against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Like, that just sucks. I feel bad for the guy. And then, yeah, this is what I was talking about in that Steelers-Bills game. This is the first play out of half. And if you're a Steelers fan, you're like, yo, we actually might win this game. Yoink. There goes the football. Aaron Rodgers not trying to take hits like that at the ripe age of 41, and that's a touchdown, Bills. And then it was all Bills after that. Now, one other game, probably my favorite game. This was probably my favorite game this week. 24-15. Philadelphia Eagles looked so bad. What happened to the offense of this team? Jalen Hurts looked like trash. I cannot defend him in this game. He missed so many open wide receivers. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson looked really, really solid. Honestly, Ben Johnson is just such an insane play caller. The true takeaway from this game is doing this. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime rushing game against Philly. These guys just won the Super Bowl. 130 rushing yards out of Kyle Monangai. 125 rushing yards out of DeAndre Swift. Both of these dudes averaging 5.9 and 6.9 yards per carry, respectively, a touchdown apiece on the ground. They're running like reverses and shit to DJ Moore and Luther Burden. It was great play calling. It was a great game. And you beat the Super Bowl champs. And now the Chicago Bears are 9-3. I'd love to hate on Chicago. They're an NFC North rival, whatever. I love Ben Johnson, and I've always loved Caleb Williams and the Bears. If I wasn't like a Lions fan, this truly would be my bandwagon team. Like it actually would be. If we face them in a pinnacle game, you bet your ass I will hate all Bears fans. I will talk all of this shit on planet Earth, and you'll never hear me say that again. But in any game that's not Lions related, love the Bears. For the first time in so long, the NFL is wide open. Dude, really, I can't remember another NFL season that was as top heavy with talent with no clear leader as it is right now. Like even the Chicago Bears, who are 9-3, do I think this is a legitimate super high level playoff contending team? I really don't think so. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, you want to say that they are because they just won the Super Bowl, but they don't look that good. They don't look that outstandingly good. I felt like in Chiefs dynasty years, the last 5 years, it was so clear that the Chiefs were that good. They were incredible. You just felt like they were going to go. Prior to that, it was Tom Brady's New England Patriots teams. Almost every season, they're having these ridiculous records, and they're just that much better than everybody else. That's not the case this season. I mean, the 9-2 Broncos right now are losing to the 3-8 Commanders. The 49ers are 9-4, but their whole roster is depleted. What can we say about that? The Chicago Bears are 9-3, but they've kind of got a cakewalk schedule. The Philadelphia Eagles have not played up to Philly standards. The Kansas City Chiefs might not make the playoffs. The Detroit Lions might not make the playoffs. I think the Packers are a sleeper contender right now. I think the Bills will continue to be a contender. Seahawks scare me a little bit, but that defense is so good that they just have to be. I do think the Rams are probably the best team in the NFL right now. Buccaneers got to get back to hot. Indianapolis, when Daniel Jones is not playing well, is not good at all. When they face these really good defenses, they crumble a little bit. Texans can sneak into the playoffs. Jaguars are 8-4. This is by far been the best, most watchable NFL season for me. I have enjoyed this season more than any season I've ever truly watched. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Maybe you like it when someone's actually like standout good. I saw someone tweet that out. They're like, the NFL sucks. No one's super good. I thought that shit was so dumb. But you know what? My opinion is better than yours, and yours is stupid, is what I was trying to say. Okay. That's it for today, gentlemen. A beautiful, beautiful day for football. Hope you guys had amazing holidays. I'm super excited for Christmas coming up. Stay locked in. Do something nice for someone else today. Tell someone that you love them today. And as always, man, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling despair, you're feeling depressed, anything, just know it's not permanent. Tomorrow is guaranteed. And it may not feel like it, but you're not always going to feel like that. It will pass. You just got to give it time. All right, I love you. You're so handsome. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.